Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Vegan Tour Guide Podcast with your host, Mike Knight, where we'll bring you great information about a vegan plant-based diet. It doesn't matter if you've been vegan for years, part-time vegan, or just gathering more information. This podcast is for you. Thanks again for joining, and let's get today's tour started.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Vegan Tour Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Knight, and I hope you are having a phenomenal day. And life is going very well for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are brand new to the show, really appreciate it. Big shout out to you. Please thank whoever referred you over to the show for me. I really appreciate that. And please help continue to spread the word. Email me, vegantourguide@gmail.com. I love hearing, especially from people hearing it for like the first time or so, just what your take is, what you're getting out of it. Because a lot of times just your emails about, hey, here's what I got from it, here's what it meant to me. That helps me make sure that I am, presenting and, if you will, crafting the shows in the right way to get the message across. Because that's what I want to do. I'm going to provide that, information and inspiration just about, plant-based and vegan and how you can do it. How that it is simple and you break those myths down. That's what I love doing with all the people that I bring on. That's my goal. I bring these people on from all different types of walks in life and all like that, if you will, just so that you can see that it is relative to everyone. And for those of you who are coming back, the repeat listeners, thank you so much. Thank you for your continued support and for helping spread the news and information about the podcast. Please, can you help doing that? I really appreciate it. Posting it for me on all social media and just driving people to it. That is awesome, and it's helping all of us together continue to spread this information. Well, speaking about spreading information, that is what today's guest does, Giacomo. Giacomo has been spreading, inspiration for years now. All right, Giacomo, we're talking about somebody that he's been in fitness for a long time. He's going to talk about his transition from when he was, fitness, prior to going to plant-based and then after plant-based. I mean, he's a physique champion, a power lifter. He's a coach. All right, Giacomo has a lot of information he's going to share today. And again, very relative to how, you can fuel your body, and develop your body, with plant-based vegan regimen. Again, dispelling all those rumors and myths that sometimes we all get bombarded with about is it possible or not. Okay? So a lot of great information coming today from Giacomo. So everybody, sit back, relax, and get ready, because here's Giacomo.
Giacomo, we're good to go. Welcome to the Vegan Tour Guide. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it. So what have you and Danny been up to today?
Today, what have we been up to today? Finishing up the week, getting ready for the weekend. We got some big projects going on behind the scenes with our coaching side of things with what we do on our website. And, I just started a new training block, so that's feeling pretty good. Today was the last day of this week. And, just getting ready for the weekend, I guess. How about you?
Awesome. Same thing. Just putting together some stuff, for the show and updating some stuff, on the website and stuff like that. Just trying to keep that information out there. And then, of course, life, mixing in with all that fun stuff. So just having a blast, ready for the weekend myself.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Well, I look forward to hearing. I know we'll get into the coaching and all you've got going on as well. And what I'd love to do, just out of the gate, obviously, I know about you guys. You do a whole lot of stuff. You, Danny, I'd love, though, for just because the listener database here is all over, kind of spread out that listens to this. And so I love doing it. If you don't mind, just kind of a little bit of background on like you, just so for the listeners that may not, know everything about you yet, because we're going to, of course, give them all information on you and Danny, where to, your website, everything to track you out. It'll be in the show notes, but just a little bit of background on you.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'll start with my whole journey into veganism. Started about 15 years ago. Went vegan for health reasons. When a friend of mine had a heart attack, I thought it would be a way to be healthier. Then I met an animal rescuer, and she brought me to the compassionate side of things. Fast forward a couple of years, I continued to lift. I continued to get stronger as a vegan. Then I met Robert Cheek, a buddy of mine, through veganbodybuilding.com. And through that small community before social media was a thing, we got together and we decided to, become activists and continue to spread the word. Fast forward a little more, we started veganproteins.com as a supplement shop, which is now evolved into coaching. And we also have a nonprofit organization, a team of vegan strength athletes, largest team in the world, called Plant Build, that we've been doing to raise money for veganism and to raise awareness.
Nice. Well, I definitely know about Plant Build as well. As a matter of fact, Erin Fergus, I had her on the show a while back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She was actually I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and so she was actually here for our Veg Fest last year, and I saw her, and we started talking. I said, you got to come on the show. And so she was very cool. She was like, let's do it. So, yeah, she came on last year, and, of course, she was jacked up and talking about she had an upcoming competition and talked about that in Plant Build. But that is so cool. So, 15 years. And so it's kind of neat, like you said, because, everyone kind of comes from different places. Sometimes it is like the health, and sometimes it is animal compassion, like you mentioned, sometimes environment. So, yeah, it's pretty neat kind of how you started out, kind of like I did, from health aspect. And then I've always been an animal lover anyway, so that kind of definitely played into it as well from there.
I think however you reach veganism, whether it's being a plant-based dieter or whether being an animal lover and recognizing the compassionate side of things, or whether you're an environmentalist, I feel like once you get into the circle, there's really no way to unsee everything else, and it kind of just all makes sense,
Yep, exactly. And it's and I tell people, but I think it's worth bearing repeating, and that is, I love the fact that the one change, quote, the one thing can get you in, yet you're making an impact in so many different ways, which is awesome. It's like you came in like I did through health, yet as soon as we came in that way, we immediately, without even knowing it, we were impacting animal compassion, and then we were also impacting the environment. And then, and that's one of the coolest things about it, because, a lot of things in life are like a one-to-one return, whereas this is like a one-to-multiple return.
Exactly. And I mean, who wouldn't feel good about not killing and eating 100 animals a year? Like, that's just, to me, it's like, wow, what a reward. Like, how could I not embrace that?
Exactly. Well, tell us a little bit about, I know, like for you, and I'll definitely put some pictures up because, again, as everyone listening to this, when you go, to veganproteins.com and, of course, also plantbuild.com, and you see Giacomo, you'll see you are stacked, shredded, ripped, obviously crushing any of the so-called rumors that, as you and I know and we laugh about, can't get protein, can't put on lean muscle mass. How was that transition for you? Because I know, weren't you, now correct me if you were already, an athlete and working out and all, some prior to going plant-based, or has this all come as plant-based? I'm curious as to what those effects were, that you noticed from the change.
Yes, I already was an athlete prior to going vegan, and I felt that it would be a healthier way to fuel myself, and also it would be a way to improve my performance. And both of those things did happen when I went vegan. Nice.
So for you, what did you notice right out of the gate? Because I know, for instance, a lot of people, like, Aaron and I talked about it, and I know from even talking to, like David Carter, kind of what he saw, what was it like for you? What did you notice maybe that surprised you? Kind of maybe when you first changed, you're like, that's a pretty cool side effect. I wasn't thinking about that. What are some of those to begin with?
Recovery, mainly. I feel like when you eat predominantly plant-based, you're just going to have a diet that is much more micronutrient dense. And with all that vitamin, mineral, phytonutrients, all that good stuff flowing through your system, like, it's just bound to help you recover faster. My gut health improved, so I was digesting food better. And it's like, it doesn't matter how much you're eating if it's just passing through you and you're not absorbing the food, like, you're not going to make use of it. So I noticed that my digestion improved, which in turn helped my recovery and also gave me more fuel and more energy to work out harder and longer.
Nice. Share, if you will, with the people like listening, even you just kind of getting their maybe started or get it, as far as their workouts and all like that. Do you have a few advice tips? Because I know you coach, there's a whole lot more to this, and so you're available to people to really take it up a notch. But what about maybe just a few, hey, if you're going to start, here's some staple foods or supplements, kind of however your path is that you suggest, maybe some staples you think people should always just make sure they have when wanting to be, like a plant-based athlete?
Well, I think the first mistake that people make when they transition from being an omnivore to a vegan is they try to reinvent the wheel. And to me, it's like, we have our creature comforts, our foods that we like, we have our meal choices that we like. And if you ask me, what I try to do with people is I look into their lifestyle and saying, how are they eating and how is this going to work within their lifestyle? And I basically veganize their menu, you know. Chances are, if you're an athlete before you go vegan, you know how to fuel yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what the right combination, you know how to balance your plate out, basically. So it's really a matter of like, hey, if you're into having chicken on your plate, maybe like opt for a Guardian chicken scallopini. If you're the type of person who's, mixing up rice and beans with a little bit of ground beef, you would just take like a beefless Beyond Meat as a replacement for that. And I mean, if you think about it, at least 75, if you're a health conscious person, which most people who are either looking to or are already into their journey through fitness are, chances are that like 75% of your plate is already vegan. So it's just merely a matter of switching the other 25% out for vegan options instead of saying, oh my gosh, this is a new way of eating, what do I do? And then you just try to, throw a whole bunch of random foods into the mix, and before you know it, you're lost.
I like that. And I like especially your approach is kind of what I would say, like meeting people where they're at. Because I think a lot of people listen to this and a lot of people sometimes that ask me and have questions, they're so worried that, quote, it's going to be the drastic change in life. Like, upset everything. Take your life in a snow globe and just shake it like crazy and just stir it around. And I love that you said that. It's like, look, there's ways to kind of meet you where you're at and just make little changes. And so I hope that definitely hit home with people listening, especially, like I said, coming from you and the success you've had and the results. The results are in the pictures when everyone sees it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I think a giant mistake in the health industry is that, we try to sell fitness to people and we try to sell healthy eating to people, and we sensationalize the diet and we sensationalize the training and everything. And it's like, yeah, that'll grab people's attention, but what happens when they can't keep doing it? How are you going to change your life? So I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, you have, this magical diet, this and that. No, it's like you said, it's a matter of meeting people where they're at. And basically creating small habits and doing them well over time. I mean, there's nothing magical about creating change. It's just a matter of doing things consistently and doing them well.
Gotcha. Well, take me to, so people can listen to about, I know, like starting Plant Built, and I know you touched on it a little bit in the beginning, and I know there's some stuff too also you like doing for like the compassion side and raising awareness. Can you tell people, kind of dive into that a little bit more, about some of like really, the emphasis behind that and what your goals are there?
Well, sure. And I think maybe that is the magic component of being a vegan athlete. It's like, I remember there was a distinct moment in my, my career in bodybuilding where I said to myself, this is an incredibly selfish sport, and I just don't know how I could be driven to prioritize this over so many other things in my life, right? And I thought to myself, I shouldn't be doing this. But then, and I stopped doing it for years. But I was still selling fitness, and it was more than just wanting to be a good ambassador for our brand. It was a matter of like, oh my God, if I could be a voice for the voiceless, like to me, that drives me harder than anything else. And I don't care. I mean, whatever you're eating, like, yeah, eating healthy helps fuel your performance, but living compassionately and wanting to lead by example, to me, if you ask me, there's nothing else that pushes me harder to just be the best version of myself.
Well, nice. So y'all do, tell people what you do also with Plant Built, because I know y'all do with competitions, sure, with touring and stuff. What all do y'all do?
Well, and that's the other thing. I'm one person, and to me, it's like to just continue to put myself out there. It just makes no point. There's only so much I can do. So, and I kind of thought about the community that Robert Cheek built with veganbodybuilding.com on the forum, and how he's always, trying to lift up the community and get people together to put the message out there, strength in numbers, right? And so we decided to start Plant Built basically to get a whole bunch of vegan strength athletes from various sports, bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, Olympic weightlifting, kettlebell, strongman, you name it. And we decided to get athletes from all over the world and get them to join forces together and to go to a Fit Expo in person and compete in various sports. Through that mission, we want to show people that, veganism can actually help your performance, and and you could take home a trophy and do really well. And in addition to that, we like to raise awareness and raise funds for farm sanctuaries. So to date, I think we've been doing Plant Built for about 5 years now, and we've managed to donate out over $20,000 to various farm sanctuaries and vegan outreach groups. So that's our mission in a nutshell: compete together with strength in numbers and raise money for farm sanctuaries and vegan outreach groups.
That is awesome. Now, again, so everyone knows it's plantbuilt.com is what you and I are talking about there. When people go to it, what can they find there? Will they also, I've obviously done it myself, but what do you want to tell them they can find there, maybe to look for, maybe where you're going to be, and events, and also maybe any of those sanctuaries, or kind of what do you want them to kind of look for also there?
So for Plant Built, you can find the profiles of all the athletes that have competed with us at one point or another. You can find where our next meetup is going to be. We compete biannually now because we've just grown so large that it's impossible to do it every year. You can find blog posts from the athletes. You can find of course, you could find the different farm sanctuaries and vegan outreach groups that we support. And basically, every time we put ourselves out there, and the media recognizes that, we like to keep track of that and keep Plant Built as sort of like a hub where, we can keep putting the message out there together.
Nice. All right. So, of course, when I'm thinking about Plant Built and going to the photos and all, I got to ask, because, look, we're right around the corner. A lot of people listening here. We're right around the corner from, like beach season, okay? Mm-hmm. What do we got to do? What are some good workouts? Being ourselves, some vegan athletes in training here listening, a couple go-to exercises for maybe, get some size on the arms, maybe get the legs, coming in. What just little tips have you got for us?
Sure. Well, the arms are a really fun body part to train when you're getting started because they respond really fast to training in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's pretty cool to include some curls and some extensions into the workout, and you can do those twice a week easily. But to me, like the real fun is getting into the compound movements, like your tried and true squat, bench, and deadlift. Uh-huh. And I usually like to build a program around those, and then to include some accessory movements. So, for chest, I might include like some push-ups. For shoulders, I might include some side lateral raises. I could do some rows and pulls for my back. And basically, you can like squat, bench, and deadlift each once a week, and then start to incorporate these other exercises in maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 exercises a workout. And I think if you get to the gym, maybe for a 45-minute session, 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to see results for sure.
Nice. All right. So speaking about results, because everyone listening to that, I know that's just a sprinkling of your knowledge and putting it out there for people. People wanting to get, results and really get focused on it, committed to it. I know you have coaching. Can you tell people about that and kind of take them through so that way, they can find out, how they would go about coaching with you? Can they do it from a distance? How does all that work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think the beauty of online coaching is that you can find a coach that speaks to you, speaks to both your personality and also to what it is that you're looking to do. So there are lots of vegan coaches, not just us, that are out there that you can work with remotely, because it can be a little hard at this point to find a vegan coach that's local. An advantage to online coaching is I feel like you can check in with your coach whenever you want, as opposed to the standard, you go to your gym, you sign up with a coach, you have him or her for that session, but then there's no communication in between sessions. So that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits of remote coaching. What we do is, we encourage our athletes to check in with us often. We give them our cell phone and we text message back and forth. We gather data through check-ins on a weekly basis, and we make adjustments as needed to keep them progressing. But for us, it's not like the programming is just the sprinkling of the coaching. To us, it's like meeting people where they're at, finding out what's going to work for their lifestyle and what makes them tick, and just basically modeling a program after them. It's about getting feedback outside of the programming and knowing how to apply it to their life so that they can get results.
That is awesome. Plus, I want to make sure everyone also knows you've got a podcast as well, and you talk about you give a lot of great pointers about like even some of your contest prep and all like that I've heard. So I know you've got that you put out as well for people.
Muscles by Brussels has been a lot of fun. When we started doing it, we didn't realize that it was going to be, our most valuable content, but we've just enjoyed having a voice, basically. I mean, we thought about doing YouTube for a little while, but then we thought about doing YouTube for a little bit. Yeah.
And so you're going to go to that, or what are you thinking?
Well, we started branching out into it, but it's just like when you look at all the social media channels, YouTube seemed to be the one with the most negative responses. I don't know why. So we kind of shied away from it a little bit. But yeah, we're starting to get into YouTube now. But yeah, having a voice through a podcast we've found to be a lot of fun.
Nice. All right, so what are you working on now? Anything you want to make sure the listeners know? Maybe you've got upcoming, or any big events to keep on the lookout for? So the next place we'll be traveling to is Philadelphia. There's a Fit Expo out there, and I guess depending on when this episode comes out, it may or may not have passed. It's actually next weekend, the 28th through the 29th. I'm excited about this one in particular because vegan athletes are getting more and more out into the mainstream, and there's Veg Fest across the country and food festivals that are vegan across the country. But I mean, this is a mainstream Fit Expo. It's like the Arnold Classic, for example, or the Olympia. Like there's these other Fit Expos all over the place. So it's not a vegan event at all, but they've invited us to speak. So I am really, really excited about that. You'll see my Danny and me will be out there. Robert Cheek is the one that actually got this whole thing going, and so he'll have a booth out there, and several other athletes, Fraser Bailey, Lillian Aguilar, Vanessa Espinoza. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anybody here. And Natalie Matthews. So that'll be the vegan crew next weekend. Very nice. All right, everybody, if you're in the area, go check it out. All right. Well, anything else? Anything else going on? You want to make sure we relay?
So there is this behind-the-scene projects that Danny and I have been working on for months, and I would absolutely love to talk about it, but I can't because we're not ready to put it out there. But what I will say is that it is coaching related, and we're going to look to help people on a much broader scale, because right now we only coach people directly, and we only have so much space. So unfortunately, so many people come to us, and we have to turn them down because we'd spread ourselves too thin. But we're going to be releasing something that will be able to help out many more people on a grand scale with coaching, and still do it in a very personal way. I expect to see that launched in the next couple months at the absolute latest, by the summertime for sure, probably sooner. So if you head on over to veganproteins.com and you sign up for our email list, as soon as we put that out into the public, you'll be the first to know.
Very nice. All right, everybody, check that out, veganproteins.com. See what you've got going on. Like you said, sign up, so that way they'll be the first to know and start getting trained. Because like you said, hey, summer's right around the corner. We all got to get got to get that summer look going on. Yeah,
for sure. And don't be surprised if you when you go vegan that you just accidentally drop a whole bunch of weight, because it doesn't always happen, but it does tend to happen.
Yep, exactly. Well, Giacomo, thank you so much. It has been awesome talking with you.
Likewise. I'm honored to be invited on your podcast, and I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, you have a great weekend. Take care.
Thanks. You too.
All right, Giacomo. Thank you so much again for coming on and for sharing your story, your inspiration about what brought you to this point in your life, and how now you're paying it back to so many people. As you mentioned there, everybody go check out plantbuilt.com that you heard Giacomo talking about with all the vegan athletes they've assembled there. And, the shows and the promos they put on, again, to spread this message, and also the charitable give back they're doing. That is just fantastic. Plus, go to veganproteins.com. Check out the website there. That is where you will find the Muscles by Brussels podcast that Giacomo and Danny have put on there. I've listened to it, love it. A lot of great information there that you'll get. As he says, a lot of great information there as well, about, working out, getting in shape, how to incorporate, if you're new to it, the vegan plant-based diet. So go check that out. Plus, like I said, he offers coaching. So right there, if you were like, look, I want to do my information and my research, but at the same time, I want someone to guide me. I want somebody that, I can walk in their shoes. Check it out right there. That's what Giacomo's doing. Him and Danny both. So go check out the website. Check out the podcast there at plantbuilt.com and also veganproteins.com where you will find them. I love his message. Like he said, the biggest impacts for him, how when you transition to this, things start happening such as, his recovery time. And how was that? Because his gut health improved. And then once that gut health improved, he was digesting foods better, which, that led to the recovery, which then gave him more energy, which increased his workouts. His workouts were better, and he made changes. He made gains. All right, so Giacomo, thank you so much for bringing all this information. Everybody, go check out what he's got going on and support him. Thank you, everybody, for listening and for spreading the information to everyone else about Vegan Tour Guide, what we're doing here, what our goal is to accomplish, which is provide information and knowledge to you that you can use in your life and carry it forward and also provide it for others. Again, email me, vegantourguide@gmail.com. Answer every one of the emails. Love hearing from you. Love hearing your ideas and feedback and just what opportunities there are out there. I want to present these opportunities, let people know about them. All right, a lot of great products I always like to mention. Don't forget about ahi flour at ahiflour.com. Right there, getting that into you. I tell you what, I use it daily. I love it. I love the results I'm getting. So don't forget about that. Always want to give a big shout out also to bensound.com for the use of the audio and music in this. And also Pat Flynn at patflynn.com for the information and inspiration for the podcast. And everybody, until next time, don't forget, spread the word about vegantourguide.com and live Pure Vita.